Hello, Yulia. Can you hear me well?
Yes. Hi, Jerry. Yes, I can hear you well.
Perfect. Thank you very much for coming. Do you have any question for me or comment before we start this podcast?
Um, I think I'm good. So I have
Yes,
thought about my answers to
yes,
the
I'm good
questions.
too.
So
I'm good too because I have had a pact with my family members that they will turn off their phone and not keep ringing about. So this is a good news. So now from my side, I have a quiet, relaxed, effective podcast with you. So let's do it. And our honored guest today is Yulia Bogdanova. So tell me, Yulia, what will you talk about today?
I want to share something that is I consider my personal legend. I just finished reading The Alchemist.
Mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
uh, the notion of personal legend really resonated with me. And this personal legend for me is exploration of the body and understanding its logic and embracing the biological um, the biological aspects that we as citizens of the civilized societies are trained to ignore, I would say, from birth. And so I call this mm, biological transformation.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
we tend to put a lot of emphasis on logic and on analysis and on trying to change things through our brain. But actually, our nervous system is mostly operating through our body because 80% of the information that our brain gets, it gets it from our body. And so body is an integral part of the nervous system, our face, so basically what we do in life and how we do it is a reflection, in my opinion, of how well we understand our body and how comfortable and safe we feel in our body.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And if you look, I would like you, Julia, to put your LinkedIn profile under this video afterwards because on the if the listeners open your LinkedIn profile, they can see you inside the cube full of
Mm-hmm.
icy water. This is really good because I am a winter swimmer myself. I would cut the corridor and swim in the very icy water. So, what does it mean for you? This how to say? Give me a second. I will try to formulate my question. Just a second. To say it perfectly, resilience, stress resilience coaching. Yeah, stress resilient coaching. Can you tell us? Okay, maybe I will reformulate my question. Sorry for this, because this is very interesting topic for me, and for me it's very hard to formulate the questions today because there are so many. There is so much that I can ask you, but maybe we can start from the beginning. What do you do professionally, Julia? What is your job?
Mm-hmm. So I coach people to embody
Mm-hmm,
everything that
mm-hmm,
they want to be. So, for example, to be, well, for women, it's I would say quite a big issue, I guess, to
yes,
really
yes.
feel confident or to
Mm-hmm,
feel self-love instead of self-hatred and shame, or to be able to say no and protect your personal space. So I help people to really like find and experience all those states with the help of their body.
mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yes, and what I mean with the help of the body, I mean using what every one of us has, like breathing, for example, through breath work, through connecting to your internal sensations, through different postures, through movement, through voice. through imagining some intentions, parts of your body, like dog, through what they call neuroplasticity, which could mean like you focus on one internal sensation, for example. So it's all different things that we have, and we don't give a lot of thought to it, and we also push a lot of those away because actually the impulses that we get, they're sometimes inconvenient or they're scary and we don't understand them, and that's why we prefer to distance and to and that's how we lose the biggest source of information about us and about our attitude to this world. Because then, for example, how do I know that I like something, or how do I know that I want to actually push this away, or how do I know what I want, or how do I know how to take care of myself, that actually I'm thirsty or I'm hungry or I need to pee. Actually, even those biological things, we push away those signals, and we try to instead we start to look for information on how to make decisions about ourselves and life from outside. For example, like, how should I react here, or what should I feel, or and this doesn't work.
Yeah. And there we can see a dog with you. Yeah.
I was pushing it away, but she came. Yeah, she was.
This is the. Do you also? Sorry for turning away from my questions a little bit. Do you use animals to for the therapy or not yourself in your profession?
No, I don't use professionally, but of course, she's my therapeutic tool because she and I, or actually dogs and most mammals and people, their nervous system is the same. But the difference is that they don't have this analytical, overthinking brain that puts brake on a lot of impulses. So they just instead go along with these impulses, and that's like huge learning experience to just watch what they do and how they react, for example, to stress and how they recover. Because animals, especially animals in the wild, they encounter well, sometimes like deadly danger, and sometimes daily, but then they encounter this danger, and then they do something and they recover. And they recover because it's actually built in our nervous system. But you have to kind of know how it's built in, and you have to follow the impulses that are telling you what to do, again, instead of pushing them away. For example, when you want to move with your whole body because you're so like stressed or angry or scared, right? And we look around, it's like, what are people going to think about me? Or am I supposed to feel this anger? It's like, I'm not supposed to do that. And this is where our human overthinking kicks in. And so she's she's a teacher for me the dog. And I also love communicating with her without talking, obviously, but just like nervous system to nervous system.
Thank you, Julia, for this sharing. Now I would like to go back to business. So now I would like to go through your past, present, and future a little bit, very briefly. So tell me something about your past. What are you grateful for, proud of, or happy about to have achieved in your job so far? Can you stress out a couple of things that really went well for you in the past?
Yeah. Well, I'm really grateful that I was brave enough to try a lot of things. And I really changed a lot of jobs or professional occupations. I was like a financial analyst in Silicon Valley. I was a fundraiser at Greenpeace. I was a teacher of English and German language, so it was a lot of things. So I kind of that was probably like felt problematic to me. Why I'm doing this, changing so many things. But now I'm really grateful because first of all, I have a lot of experience that I can use in my present job, and then. Yeah, and then because I actually found what I really want to do, and that's I call personal legend. So
Okay, let's go to the present moment, which is very important. What projects are you working on at this moment?
So what I do, well, I develop my my consulting, my coaching
Yes, yes.
practice. Yes, and lately I've gone through a lot of changes myself, or rather, I would say transformational, traumatic slash transformational experiences. And one of them was personal. The other one was the start of the war, which I come from Russia, so it brought up a lot of things in me. And so actually all those experiences they contributed to new things and approaches in my work that I first tried with myself, and now I use with my clients. So now I'm integrating it into a program, and so I kind of bringing it out into the world.
Yeah.
And this is and I also do the fun part that I really like. I do group sessions with people where they're very experiential, and where the goal is to get some experience, for example, to get to this state, to have a creative breakthrough, or just feel deeply relaxed, or feel and let yourself feel the anger and actually make it source of your power, and all this with the help of the body and different instruments that it has.
Yeah. This is very interesting because I have one question for you for the end of this interview, but I would like to leave it till the end. This is concerning what you are talking about now. But now let's move to the next question, future. What can you invite us to? Do you plan any interesting events in the future? Are you planning anything?
Well, and now getting more and more active on LinkedIn, where I will post anything that comes up. But well, for example, tomorrow, European Business Connect, I'm giving a workshop on how to get into the flow state. So, and I have a few more things planned with some people that I collaborate with, and yeah, so I just I guess I invite you to become connections, and then check in with me, or yeah, book a discovery session.
Definitely, please be so kind and write down under this video. Write to Julia. She will be so happy to answer all your questions. And also, she would probably, if you are interested, she would send you the link recording from her workshop tomorrow, because personally, I cannot make it tomorrow and I would like to see it. So if you would be so kind, and after I publish this video, please put down the link so that we can see your presentation from the recording. It would be very nice. And yeah, do you have time for hobbies and free time activities?
That's actually for me a non-negotiable thing, because yeah, I mean, really taking care of yourself or loving yourself means that you make time for things outside of your work. I mean, it's kind of complicated for me because work is also so personal, and something that I really have a lot of fun with. But I really love being in nature, for example. I I really love different sensory experiences. For example, just like being in a different place or touching different things or yeah, just with everything that you can give yourself sensory experiences with food, with the weather, with like your bare feet and and stuff like that. So yes, I do have hobbies and
Yeah, so this makes another question I will ask you a little bit later. Second question I have in my mind to ask you concerning these matters. But before we end, do you have any takeaway message for our audience? One message.
my message is get out of your head into your body.
Thank you, Yulia Bogdanova. Thank you. Perfect. And now
Thank
I
you.
would stop
Thank you,
it, but
Jerry.
I will. Thank you, Yulia. I will not stop this recording yet. I will continue with my two additional questions. And they are very on the body questions. So you don't have to answer these, but they came to my mind when we were talking about this. I will start with the easier question. Do you recommend spending some time in the darkness? There are some programs which limit some of your vision, and then you can hear more and you can think more and you can smell more. What do you think about these programs? Is it a good idea, or have you ever thought about doing this or your clients?
Yes, actually, I've heard about that, and I also recently experienced that, where I was at a professional gathering for breathwork coaches, and some activities we were doing with
Blindfolded.
yeah, and yeah, that was quite powerful. And what happens there is all the bandwidth of the brain, the processing that you use for your eyesight, you get
Yeah.
it for different things. And what you said there is like for thinking, yes, for thinking, but I would use it more for getting back into really feeling the body or experiencing your internal sensations. It's yeah, can be very, very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. And my second question, do you think people should, now I'm talking, now I would like to ask you about the ice which you were sitting in. Do you think people can do it alone, or should they consult a coach like you first to begin? When you are a beginner and you have never done ice work, so work with icy water, for example, or breathing exercises, there are some very advanced breathing exercises which are sometimes even dangerous for life. So do you think people should experience with this alone, or since the beginning consult a coach, or is there some kind of a way between that? What is your opinion about this?
Well, you can. I would not recommend actually just getting straight into ice water without preparing first. So it's also never, never, ever breathe in a funny way in water, just because your breathing will change anyway when you get into water. And trying to follow some breathwork technique, it's not a good idea. And I would say you can do like experiment with cold water and with ice on your own, even putting your hands into ice water, because sometimes it's harder and can be more painful than immersing your whole body. And also with breath, and I assume you mean the Wim Hof breathing technique, which is
Yes, yes, yes,
ventilating. It's like
yes, yes.
the motherfucker. That's what he says.
Mhm.
Um, and so this is I also don't recommend actually using it often on a regular basis, because it works through our stress response and through and it like really taxes your nervous system, especially if you have some problem, if you are not resilient but looking to get resilient. Yes. So, I mean, is a lot with breath and with body in general that is much softer and actually can have a bigger impact. So careful with that. Better if you, yes, and if you want to do Wim Hof breathing and ice cold water, better first try it with a coach.
Thank you, Yulia. Finally, do you have any question for me or comment or anything about concerning the management of this podcast or any personal question, anything that you want to ask me?
Yeah. Well, if you share with me like how and why you do the podcast, or in general, what are the activities. I joined the group that you invited me to.
Yes.
And I think there is an event coming up soon.
Yes, so I would like to invite every friendly person who is positive and who is open to new relationships, new friendships between business people, because my activities are concerned mostly with business people worldwide, as you can see behind in the map. I would like to invite you to the series of 2 or 3 networking sessions, which will be in the group IFB. This means International Freelance Business. And these events will take place in September. On request, I will send you the invitation link to the online event, because it's online on Google Meets. And the idea here is a mastermind session where people meet together and they talk about interesting and important things in their life concerning the professional life this time. And these sessions are have very good feedback, because many people tell me they liked it and they would like to come back. So you are, Yulia, yourself invited to that. And
thank you.
The idea of the podcast is clear: to let people know what you do. Yeah. So I would like, by this podcast, I would like to spread the word on LinkedIn and on Facebook. These are my and YouTube. These 3 platforms I know. It doesn't mean that I don't want to learn more new platforms like Spotify and TikTok and Instagram and so on, but I don't know them yet. I'm still to learn it. So these 3 platforms yet to let people know what you do, and in order to make a little bit more, getting to know you a little bit more, so maybe we 2 can cooperate in the future together. We can help each other, recommend each other, and so on. This is the idea why I'm doing these things.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Looking forward to join one of the events, the September event. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Jerry. Bye.